सकले समाने तोरिते सकति देहो नाथ जाता जाता साधे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे अपराध हुए हाथा देह न कृपा नभियाए जाना पिता हरि जो नाम अति बुद्धिहीन अमी अति दीन तोर मरे अज्ञाता जगे विचारे किछु नहीं पाए तुम्हारा करुणा साधना करुणा न होइने कांदिया कांदिया नाना नाना के दो आधा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Ram se continue. This song is very beautiful. So the meaning of the song is praying, O Gurudev, Kripa Bindu Diya Korohi Dase. O my spiritual master, please give me mercy that I can become humble like a blade of grass and give me tolerance and give me strength to tolerate insults and give me tolerance that I can tolerate other things. And let me respect everybody according to their position. देहो नाथ ज़्यादा ज़्यादा उनके हिसाब से उनको जितना रिस्पेक्ट देना चाहिए उस हिसाब से मैं सबको रिस्पेक्ट दे सकूं and तभी तो गायब हरि नाम सुखे then I will be able to chant holy name with sukh, with happiness, then able to give. And this is what it's praying to spiritual master. And my apradhas will go away. And kebe hino kripa lobiyaye jana kirtata hoiba natha. So when I will get your mercy, my life will become successful. I have no strength and I am very wretched. Please give me your association. And Yogyata Vichare, I think I have no other qualification than your mercy. And if your mercy is not there, I won't keep my life here. So this is praying. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a song, is playing. So to the strength to respect others, the strength to find good in others comes from the spiritual master there. And that's what he is praying for. ॐ ज्ञानतिमरन्दस्य ज्ञानं जनाशलाकया चक्षुमिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं वदन्ति स वदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं सारजातं सहगना रघुनाथां वितं तं सजीवं सावधेतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशादेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमाबदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरे तसे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधा शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. I think there's Mataji's, you can come here. You will be able to see the screen because whole presentations are PPT. You're able to see from here, but I think others are not able to see. So you can come maybe little front, so you can see the screen. It's a very important topic for devotees to how to deal with devotees, and even in normal life. दोषान् परेषान् गुणेषु साधवो I think we should learn also to operate that. I think I change the present mode. No, it is about share. No, about share. That's the whole. Connect it. You can get that. So we'll put from this one. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram. I put a small screen. There's no use of getting new screen with which we don't know how to operate. It's not working, no? Put the small screen, it works at least. Casting thing. Okay. दोषान् परेषां हि गुणेषु साधव गणन्ति केचिन्न भवाद्दिशो दुजा गुणान् च फल्गुन् बहुलोकविष्णवो महत्तमस्तेषु विदद्भवानघम्. Sati to Daksha, O Brahmana, saintly persons see that faults are capable of being transformed into good qualities. And see good qualities, not the faults. You are the opposite. The best persons magnify even meager good qualities in another person. You see only fault in others. So this was comes when Daksha had offended Lord Shiva in the assembly. So Lord Shiva was sitting in the assembly of Daksha Prajapati, and Daksha, because Daksha's daughter was married to Shiva, Sati, and therefore Daksha was very angry at Shiva, and because of this reason, he started finding fault with Lord Shiva. Ki Lord Shiva doesn't dress properly. Lord Shiva always with ghosts and hobgoblins. He always having bhuto ki mala. So Daksha was very unhappy with it. In front of everybody, he started insulting Lord Shiva. You know what did Lord Shiva did? Nothing he did. He just was absorbed in Brahman. And why did he offend it so much, Daksha? Because Lord Shiva was absorbed in Paramatma and he didn't pay obeisances to Daksha. And just because he did not pay obeisances to Daksha, Daksha became Ag Babuda. He became very angry. It's not offending. But Lord Shiva didn't say anything, he just left the assembly. But there are a lot of cursing and come. But Lord Shiva's followers, Nandi, they did not tolerate it. They start cursing Daksha and the Brahmanas. And then the Brahmanas start cursing Nandi. So one should tolerate insult for oneself, but one should not tolerate insult for Guru and Krishna. So Nandi did not tolerate the insult for Lord Shiva. And then what happened? The after he went, then Sati wanted to come for Daksha Yagya. The Daksha did a Yagya, and all sisters of Sati was going. And Sati was thinking, all my sisters are going, how will I? How will I not go? And that time Sati started, but Sati and Lord Shiva had a kind of a argument. Then finally Lord Shiva allowed, okay, you go, what to do. So, uh, so Sati went and Lord Shiva did not want to go. So again, desire of Lord Shiva went and Lord Shiva told that don't go, Parinam will not be good because there. And when Sati comes there, she was very disheartened seeing that Shiva was disrespected. So much so, there was no share of sacrifice for Lord Shiva. Daksha had not given any, because the all share is distributed to all demigods. And Shiva was the topmost demigod, but still there is no there. And then he says this verse to Daksha. Oh Daksha, saintly person see that faults are capable of being transformed into good qualities and see the good qualities, not the faults, but you are opposite. Lord Shiva has no faults, but you are seeing all faults in Lord Shiva. So, so here we can see that how Lord Shiva. So the Vishnu Jagati Thakur gave a commentary on this verse and talk about four types of sadhu and four types of asadhu. The four types of asadhu find fault with everybody, and these four kinds of sadhu don't find fault with anybody, even the faults are there. So you want to become sadhu or asadhu? Sadhu. So based on fault finding, you're considered sadhu, uh, and not fault finding, you're considered sadhu, and based on fault finding, you're considered asadhu. And the logic is very simple. Whatever we meditate on, those were the qualities come upon us. So did I told the story of the prostitute and the Brahmana? No, last class we didn't discuss this. So there was one Brahmana living, and in front of his house there was a prostitute living. And Brahmana would always see the prostitute's house and always see who all are going coming. And always he's thinking, oh, she's such a wretched lady, what she's doing, all that his meditation is. But the prostitute always thinking, oh, Brahmana is so good, is worshipping Lord Vishnu. So the Brahmana's activities was of worship, but his mind is in the prostitute's form. And the prostitute's activity was like a prostitute, but mind was in Brahmana's form. And what happened? Now suddenly fire broke out, and both of them died. And then the Yamdutas came. And Yamdutas came to Brahmana. Brahmana said, wrong number, उधर जाना है तुमको. बोले right number, हम तुम्हारे लिए आए करके. And to the prostitute, the Vishnu Dutas came. Because she was absorbed in Lord Vishnu, remembering the Brahmana's activity. And this person was absorbed into all faults of the prostitute. So he was carried to Yamlok doing the activity. So whatever our meditation is, that's what we become. So if we keep now, when we're living in devotee association, if we keep observing faults, what will happen? Right? We see only fault. And that is why we start our day with what? Guru Ashtakam. One day Guru Shri. This material world is a place of forest fire, but Guru's mercy is done. How Guru is engaged in worshipping the deities, how Guru is there in the spiritual world. So when we meditate on those good qualities, one day those good qualities come in us also. There. And the whole process of bhakti is about meditating on the good qualities of others and avoiding to see the bad qualities of others. There's a whole process of bhakti there. See, in one sense, Krishna says to Uddhava, material good or bad, don't look material good or bad, both are bad only on a material platform because they all are within the gunas. So because they're within the gunas, you're captured by the gunas there. So therefore, when we appreciate qualities, we appreciate qualities, devotional qualities, or the qualities which are used in devotion to Shri Krishna. There. So here the point comes. So therefore, different types of sadhus. Speaking harshly is a bad quality, but because it can be for someone's benefit, it becomes a good quality. Like somebody is very strong personality, is from military, and he's now retired and coming as a devotee in there. So devotee will say, ठीक है military वाला है, इसको थोड़ा discipline crowd control पे लगा देते हैं. So things will happen rightly there. और ये parking पे लगा देते हैं, you know, parking devotee के care पे लगा देते हैं. So devotee see that he's bad. Now he may have a little harsh speech because of military thing, but that also could be using Krishna's service. There. So they do not see her कि ठीक है ये devotee नहीं है, ये cannot work there. Then Mahatara is now Janma. Somebody comes. There are many people who comes only Janmashtami to Janmashtami our center. Now somebody said, अरे ये लोग पूरा केवल जन्माष्टमी आते हैं, बाकी टाइम सेंसिटिफिकेशन करते रहते हैं. और somebody said, अरे जन्माष्टमी को है भगवान के जन्मदिन के लिए कितने नेक व्यक्ति हैं. So when you see that कितने नेक व्यक्ति हैं जन्माष्टमी पे आए, तो we are महत्तरा. बट वेन वी सी कि अरे पूरे साल भर सेंसिटिफिकेशन करते रहते हैं और अब आगे मुंह दिखाने, so that is asadhutar. The same thing you can see with a light of positivity, and same thing we can see a light of negativity. Then Mahatama means this hippie boys and girls have helped me so much spreading. I'm deeply indebted to them for their assistance spreading Krishna conscious movement. So who said this? Prabhupada. Now hippies, now if any one of us go and meet the hippies, how many we find good in them? I don't know if you know about hippies. You know about hippies? Yeah. So when Prabhupada was living in Bari, now when hippies come to their class, how they will come to their class? They'll come with their girlfriend also. And गले में हाल हाल के बैठ गए class में. And Prabhupada dealt with hippies like that. And always they are high on drugs. And such a bad culture we can't imagine. But Prabhupada saw good qualities in them. And Prabhupada only made them chant Hare Krishna, neglecting all their faults, make them Vaishnavas, engage them in preaching service, and in telling, oh, you have helped me so much. So this is Mahat Tara. There. That first you engage a person who has no good qualities, give him some success and say, thank you so much. There. And actually, if you have to become facilitator or a mentor, this quality is very much required. That you can engage people and appreciate them. And the fourth is Ati Mahatama. In this world, there are no bad people, everyone is good. Like Yudhishthir Maharaj. When he went out, he was told to find somebody better than himself. He couldn't find anybody better than himself there. So everybody is good, nobody is bad. Now, see, a sadhu means one devotee prays a beautifully dancing upcoming new devotee in temple hall. Some new devotee came and dancing very nicely, and this devotee said, "अरे नया नया मुल्ला जोर के अजान पढ़ता है." Means what? In mosque, when people go initially, they are very enthusiastic. Or over a period of time, they become dhila dhala. And same happens in Krishna consciousness. The initial devotees are very enthusiastic. After spending some time, you're just getting along and things. So when you see a new devotee very enthusiastic, ये भी कल को हमारे जैसा हो जाए. अभी नया नया जोश है, इससे ज्यादा उछल कूद रहा है, बाद में तो ये हमारे जैसा ही हो जाएगा. There. So rather than seeing, अरे he's so enthusiastic, appreciating him, we're telling कल को ये भी हमारे जैसा हो जाएगा. So you see good quality also he is converting into a point. I think good quality also converting into a point. There. So one devotee went applied for second initiation. So another devotee said, "अरे, come, I'll take your interview." And he said, "I'm not prepared." He said, "अरे, तुम prepared नहीं हो, क्या होगा तेरा second initiation? ऊपर जाएगा तो तेरी हालत खराब हो जाएगी करके." And the devotee started crying only. There. So he's not appreciating other. At least he's trying for second initiation to serve the deity, serve the Lord. He's only seeing the point in there. Then asadhutara, this fellow shows up at the temple only on Janmashtami. Rest of the time he's in Maya. Then asadhutama, this renounced is eating opulent food in homes of grahasthas and travels in big posh cars. He must be Vishayi, posing as a monk. Right? Even with great souls, we find faults. Oh, the sannyasi is traveling in a big car. He doesn't seem to be proper sannyasi. Sannyasi means they should be in a phata, tutti frutti car. They should be detached. They should walk on, foot. Why they are traveling in a big posh car? So though there is no fault, but you make a fault even with great souls. That is a sadhutama. And then atiya sadhutama means in this world no one is good, everyone is evil. Like Duryodhana, he did not find anybody better than himself. So these four qualities are there. So now we can see which category we lie. There are 8 categories. Between asadhutara, asadhutama to sadhutama. So certainly we may not be in both this category asadhutara and asadhutama because we're staying in devotee association. But somewhere in between. And to that degree we develop this quality to see good in others, we become sadhus there. Now suppose when people are coming for our programs, right? People are coming for our programs. Now you may see, अरे ये लोग जीन्स पैंट में आ जाते हैं करके, इनको धोती कुर्ता पहनना नहीं आता है, तिलक भी नहीं लगाया है, और इनके बाल भी खुले हुए हैं, बाल भी नहीं अच्छे से आते करके. So this is one way of seeing it. Other way of seeing is, अरे बैंगलोर में सुबह 8 बजे लोग सोते हैं, ये बंदा जग के प्रोग्राम को आया है, इसकी तो आरती उतारनी चाहिए. राइट अन्न. सो देयर आर 2 ways to see. अरे ये माता जी सुबह सब 11 बजे उठते हैं बैंगलोर में, ये सुबह 7 बजे 6 बजे उठ के 7:30 की भगवान की आरती को आई है, अब बाल खुले तो क्या बड़ी बात है, एटलीस्ट सुबह आके कर रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे चीजें हो जाएंगी. So see your perception, and that's what Papa saw the hippies. He didn't saw they're taking drugs. He didn't saw they're coming with a girlfriend. He only saw at least they are the only people who are coming to my park. There, right? Mhm. So every situation, you will have two ways to look Baba. There. Now, when we come in devotee association, there are so many tendencies to find fault. Now, just think there is no devotee only. तो अकेले मंगल आरती करो. Just think no devotee comes on Sunday morning and you're alone dancing in front of Radha Madhava. Alone playing kartal, alone playing madanga. How do you look? And class में भी अकेले बैठे हो. You'll feel कहीं गलत जगह तो नहीं आके. Right? Just think because devotees are there, we are feeling joy in bhakti. So let's see good. Array, this devotee is coming regularly. How good it is. How nice it is that there. And yes, devotees have faults, so that should be trained over a period of time. वो आते जाएंगे, चीजें सीखते जाएंगे, क्या क्या सही चीजें हैं, क्या गलत चीजें हैं. दे विल ऑल्सो, अब हम भी तो वैसे ही थे फर्स्ट डे से, कि हम पूरा एकदम कर गए थे. वी स्टिल हैव सो मेनी फॉल्ट एंड वी हैव सो मेनी फॉल्ट, बट डिवोटीज एनकरेज, डिवोटीज अप्रिशिएटेड, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी आर इन भक्ति. And that's what is required to expand Śrīla Prabhupāda's spiritual mission and live in association of devotees, cultivate this quality of sadhu. If we can just cultivate this quality of becoming a sadhu, of seeing good in others, making progress. See, what you give, it comes back. Now suppose you keep finding fault with everybody to improve others. The motive is to improve others. So just think, if every 3-4 more devotees start finding fault with us to improve us, how will we feel when you come to the center? Devotee से तुम में ये दिक्कत है, devotee से तुम में ये दिक्कत है. So will you feel like to come to the center again? बोले अरे इसलिए थोड़ी ना आए आप करके. Really, we want to improve, that's why we are coming. But we don't want a feedback there and we are coming. So what you give to others comes back to you. If you encourage others, that encouragement may not come from the same person, it comes from some other devotees there. And I personally saw in my life, one time, this is something 20 years back, 18 years back, I was quite immature. So I was the OC of the voice, and one devotee was the cleanliness in charge. He announced in the morning that nobody should have their clothes lying in the bathroom. But he only left his coffin in the bathroom. And I wanted to teach him a lesson in my immaturity, in noviceness. I washed his coffin and dried and told him. And he felt very bad. So this happened. After 3 days, I made a mistake and my senior scolded me. Then I remembered, Baba, अभी वापस आ रहा है. जो दिया है वो वापस आ रहा है करके. So this is how the main works. Suppose you keep scolding others, you keep finding fault with others. So when you meet your seniors, that same thing Paramatma will guide them. Hey, he needs it. And your thing will come back. And I've seen also, कुछ devotees गलती करते हैं, मैं डांटना चाहता हूँ, मैं डांट भी नहीं पाता हूँ. Because they are also very cool with other colleagues. They also don't scold anybody. So मैं भी उनको scold नहीं कर पाता, तो गलती की है. And some devotees जो थोड़ा गलती करते हैं, थोड़ा scolding अपने आप आ जाता है. Because I found they also keep scolding many others. I say, why I'm becoming instrument of their karma? I should not become instrument of their karma scolding. Yes. So what you give to others comes back to you. And whatever way you give it to others, that way it comes back to you. If you give a sweet way, it will come back sweet way to you. If you give harsh way, it will come back harsh way to you. There. जब लेकिन अपने पे आती है तब पता लगता है. And same with the family members. The way you deal with family members, tomorrow the family members also will deal with not the same, some other. It will always come in a boomerang way in the duty there. See, previous life, if a husband had troubled his wife, this life will get a very troubled wife who will trouble him nicely, and vice versa. There. So, and how it's recorded? If somebody has troubled his mother last life, then this life his moon will be troubled. Chandrama will be there, and always his mind will be troubled there. Because last life he troubled his mother, so this life his moon star will always be troubling him. There. Are you getting the point? The moon star will be troubling him. Same way, if somebody troubled his father, then his sun will be in a position where it's always giving him trouble. And that's how our karma is being designed. That's why don't give trouble to anybody if you want to be happy with it. And just tolerate whatever has come. It's our product of our own karma there. And I'll share one section from Avanti Brahmana. Though we are going little off tour, but this Avanti Brahmana pastime is very amazing there. Uh, this Avanti Brahmana, tell in the short story and his realizations. This Avanti Brahmana, he was very, very miser. Even though he will not do Shraddha for his fathers, he won't give any cloth to his family members, let you starve, I want to save money. He will torture his servants. Very, very cruel person. Over a period of time, his wealth got depleted. All his family members left him. And then he realized the fallacy of wealth. कि wealth किसी काम की नहीं होती. Because he was miserly collecting the wealth. And now what happened? So now what happened? But one good thing happened, he had done some devotional service. So now he became a sadhu, Mauna sadhu, and said, now I will completely depend on Krishna. Whatever my sufferings will come, I will accept. And what kind of suffering people will get? People said, hey, ये ढोंगी साधु है. पहले मर्चेंट था, अब सब कुछ चला गया तो साधु बन गया. Or people will pass urine on his food. He's eating food, they will pass urine. They will pass foul hair upon him. And they will bind him with chain. They will bind him with chain. They will capture him and do so many injustices to him. Just imagine, somebody, so anybody does like this to us. It's beyond imagination. But he kept mum. And they will take his mala and nachate rahenge uske सामने. And what was his realization? You want to know what was his realization? Huh? His realization was manah param karanam amananti. नायम एव जनो सुख दुख हेतु द्विज उवाच नायम जनो में सुख दुख हेतु. Okay, it's share from here, no? नायम जनो में सुख दुख हेतु न देता आत्मग्रह कर्म काल मना परम कारणमामनन्ति. संसार चक्रम परिवर्तितेता. These people are not the cause of my happiness and distress. People who held him captive, people who bound him with chain. Does it look logical? Makes sense? Karma. And this is neither the demigods, neither my karma, neither the planets. It's the mind alone that causes happiness and distress and perpetuates the rotation of material life. Manha param karanam amananti. How many understand this? How many didn't understand this? Raise your hand. Then I explain in detail. Yeah. See, you did something bad to somebody. And as a karma, somebody is doing bad to you. But unless you feel that misery in mind, that misery is not yours. Unless you feel that misery in your mind, you have not become miserable. So for us to become miserable, we have to become miserable through our mind or not? Because every situation in this world is a relative situation. For example, some devotee is planning to join and he lost his job. So will he be happy or sad? Happy. बिना टेंशन के भी छूट गए. Right. But somebody is planning to get married and he lost the job. So will he be happy or sad? Sad. अभी शादी कैसे होगी? The same situation could be happy and think based on the situation and based on the state of the mind, right? So it's always the state of the mind which makes our problem appear problem to us. And moment you understand you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. Krishna has a bigger plan. It's my own karma coming back to me. Then we understand I deserve it. And you don't. The moment you, when any suffering comes, and moment you think I deserve it, you feel great relief. How many experience that? कि ठीक है. And you see a higher purpose of life. Let me remember Krishna in this situation. And that's what he's saying, that the cause for happiness and distress is my own mind, not the people, not my karma, not there. Even it's my karma, if I see it in a positive way, okay, I have a lesson to learn. Krishna wants me to teach a lesson. Lord wants me to learn this, to get purified, to go back to Him more faster. Then what happens? All situations in life becomes easy. Man changa to katauti mein ganga. If you see, if mind is upset, little things will upset, irritate us. When mind is happy, even bigger things we will able to tolerate. ठीक है. So same way, when mind is absorbed in the Lord, it can tolerate all situations of life rather than blaming people. Blaming, bonding, and blaming. Like Daksha became agitated because Lord Shiva did not pay obeisances to him. Can you imagine? Sometimes son-in-law become very son-in-law go to their home, and if the in-laws don't respect them, they become आग बबूला. ठीक है, रिस्पेक्ट कुछ गाली तो नहीं दी, रिस्पेक्ट ही नहीं किया, बस काहे को तफसीरत देने. Because there is so much expectation of respect. Same way in relationships. When we have high expectations, it brings high frustration. And close relationships in this world, we develop more expectation. Therefore, close relationship brings more frustrations. There, in this world. So it's all about mind. And that's why we train our mind to see good in a situation. Then see bad, see, give a benefit of doubt to others. Give benefit of doubt to others. Generally, when we do wrong, we say मेरा intention तो अच्छा था. Right? गलत हो गया मैं क्या करूँ? When others do wrong, मुझे intention नहीं पता पर गलत काम किया नहीं. Are you getting the point? But it should be opposite. When we do wrong, we should take responsibility. Okay, ठीक है, मेरा intention अच्छा था, पर दूसरों को नहीं समझेगा ना. I couldn't do, so let me do it right next time. But when others do wrong, understand they may have a good intention, but somehow they couldn't do it. Then you'll be peaceful in life. And therefore, this could be applied in any walk of life. So, okay, so I was shocked. So this is a poem by Mahatma Prabhu. I was shocked, confused, bewildered. Okay, some devotee can read. You read? That's it. That's it. Give me. Yeah. Please read the poem.
I was shocked. Poem by Mahatma Das.
खड़े
I was shocked, confused, as I entered words not by the beauty of it all, not the light or its record, but it was the devotees of Golgotha that I was amazed to see. I knew them all on the earth, but they had so little. But they had so there stood Sanskrita
नहीं संस्कृतम नहीं संकीर्तन लीडर
stood Krishna's loving voice. Next to my old TV,
old TP means old temple president.
who was fair and was nice. Krishna asked whoever to teach, who seemed so insincere. Was sitting ecstatically with Krishna to whom he speaks together. I asked my God, of this I don't know what to make. How all these devotees end up here if someone make a mistake? And why is everyone so quiet, so somber, giving a minute? Quiet Prabhu, he said, they're all in shock. No one thought they'd be seeing you. Judge not. Remember, there's a point about Prabhu doesn't take the devotee any more from standing in your planets makes you a car. And a temple is not a museum of sin, but a hospital for fallen souls. Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future.
Nice poem. Hey, how many of you didn't got the poem? Anybody didn't got? You didn't got it. Okay, because he was reading. Anybody didn't got? You all got the poem. So many times we see devotees may have. See, when we come initially, all devotees will look appear very good because we'll compare them with the material world. So when we compare with the material world, devotees are some way high. But as you closely interact with devotees, your expectation was very high. But now you understand they won't act like that high. Then what happens? We start finding faults there. But what Prabhupada is saying, despite all the faults devotees are having, Krishna will take them back home back. Krishna will purify them and will take them back home back to Godhead. So therefore it's very important that rather than we getting carried away by seeing the faults of devotees, see good in them. Rather seeing the faults in devotees, see good in devotees. Because just like we are finding fault with devotees, devotees are also tolerating our many faults. So initially we think devotees are tolerating us. No, initially we think we are tolerating the devotees. And as we make advancement, we understand devotees are tolerating us. Because initially we see fault only in devotees. So we think, oh, I have to tolerate him. He has this problem. But as we grow, Anantivati happen, we see fault in us. And then we realize how much the other devotees are tolerating us. The devotees are tolerating us, and we are allowed to practice Krishna conscious devotees. That is only Krishna's mercy. And what happens when people are in devotees, when people become devotees, the subhava doesn't change. Remember this point. We always have expectation that somebody is a devotee, his swabhava also should be nice. But the problem is the swabhava of the devotees don't change so easily. Like the child has a swabhava to cry. You can't change it, isn't it? And it won't understand. Same way, now how the swabhavas, let us research into how the swabhavas come in a person. When the jiva comes from the body of Mahavishnu, from that time he carries a swabhava. From the time he comes from the body of Mahavishnu, from that time only the devotee, the person, the jivatma, carry the impressions of the previous creation. And that comes along with him in this universe. And how much time we spend in this universe till now? All of us? 50 years of Brahma. No, in this universe of 50 years only. Na? At least, उससे ज़्यादा क्या होगा सब? Now we are in the 51st year, no? There. So, 50 years of Brahma we all have lived and taken many, many births in many, many species. And one day of Brahma is how much? 4 billion years. 4.3 billion years. Into 50 years. Days. Into 50 into 365. That much time we have lived in this universe in different species, gathered so many impressions in our mind. And sum total of all that impression is called Subhava. Now just think what you accumulated from so many lifetimes, now we're expecting कि 2 साल की भक्ति में चला जाएगा. Is it reasonable to expect? So that is why even sincere devotees will have their Subhava. And that is why I find, अरे इतना senior होके ऐसा कैसे behave कर? हम have experienced this. कि इतना senior होके ऐसा क्यों behave कर रहे हैं? No, no experience. Please raise your hand if you don't have experience. Many have experience. And those who don't, you will soon get experience. Okay? I spent so much time. Why is this behaving like this? Because Swabhava will not change in 5 years. We have not appeared from Golok Vaikuntha, Golok Vrindavan, right? We appeared in this world, then we have become devotee. And that will take. But doesn't mean that devotees are sinful activities. Devotees follow 4 principles, they rise early, they're sincerely following. But despite sincerely following, some nature will be there. Like some devotees will be little directly correct कर देंगे मुंह पे. ऐसा कैसे बोल दिया करके, and people can't tolerate that. It is their स्वभाव. So directly anything they come, they will just speak in front. There. And you may feel great. हाँ अरे प्रभु ऐसा क्या डायरेक्ट बोल दिया हमारा प्रॉब्लम. थोड़ा सा मलम लगाना था. Okay. So you will find different devotees in a setting. And see anybody, especially stay 10, 15 years here, they have surely attained this training. But even after attaining this training, they're helpless due to their sabhava. Right? All of us will feel that we feel helpless after attaining this sabhava. There. Now today I'm taking learning to see good in others. But I was also finding a fault with the devotee. In the morning I was saying, hey, why did I find fault? Today I'm giving learning to see good in others. I should have seen good. Or maybe even fault was there, I could have kept one. Why I had to speak that fault to other devotee? So neither I benefited, neither the other devotee benefited. Why to speak is there? So we all are struggling to come to a platform where Ninda Adi they become Mahat Tama, find good in others. But why the session is required, we have to make a conscious effort. Because if we not make a conscious effort, eventually we'll go down. Because the nature of this world is finding fault with others. There's a default nature of the world to find fault with others. And why do we find fault with others? We'll come further now. So you can see his holiness Jabalaka Maharaj and his holiness Jansen Maharaj embracing each other. The Maharaj lectures. So tendency is if Maya Devi allowed us to understand the value of our relationship with other devotees, our relationship with Krishna, and she could have no hold on us. So one of our primary strategies. Now we are coming out of the grip of Maya or not? How many feel we are coming out of the grip of Maya? But what Maya tries, what Maya does? Even though philosophically we may understand the value of association of devotees, it becomes covered. It is always there. What about this? This association is always there. I could always chant my rounds. I could always come to the temple. I could always do this. This is once in a lifetime opportunity I have here. Maya Devi will provide unlimited once in a lifetime opportunity for the rest of eternity. That is how she works, and we think each one is so special. Yet chance to serve and to have darshan, to pray and to be with Vaishnavas, we could do any time, but it's very special. Moment and moment, she distracts us. You think, ठीक है, इस संडे नहीं आ पाए, अगले संडे आ जाएंगे. Right? Today I didn't chant it nicely, कल chanting करेंगे. So we don't take the practices and the devotees seriously. That's how the Maya is. See, Dhruv Maharaj, after seeing the Lord, what is he praying? Bhakti muhu pravatam toime prasango bhuyad ananta mahatam amalashyanam yenanda saulpanam urvyasnam bhavabhin neshe bhavad gun kathamritapanamatha. Oh Lord, bless me that I may associate with your devotees or always absorb in glorifying you, my Lord. So even you see the Lord, what do you ask for? Association of devotees. So spiritual world के साथ spiritual world में will go alone or we will have association of devotees. So have to learn how to associate with devotees, right? So there is a unripe mango and there is a ripe mango. So currently we are which type of mango? Unripe. Unripe mango को खाओ तो कैसा लगता है? खट्टा. अभी sometime devotee relationship looks like. See, some devotee will feel very nice relationship. Some devotee will feel little खट्टा relationship. तो कच्चा आम खट्टा रहेगा, पका आम मीठा रहेगा. But just wait for some time. The same devotee will become very, very sweet. I personally see the changes in many devotees. Initially, they were very rough and tough and thing, but over a period of time, they became very sober, sweet, loving. They realize they. जैसे कच्चा आम पक्का आम बन जाता है, devotees also become mature. And one should hear the glories of pure devotees. Right? So see, Bhagavatam we can understand when we are non-envious. So because we will see so many mistakes of great personalities like Indra, Daksha, Dhruva. So we may either appreciate them. Now suppose somebody say, oh, Dhruva Maharaj was so attached. I don't have so many desires. Then whole purpose of reading Bhagavatam is gone. To read what kind of austerities he did. We'll feel very humbled there. So we should, when see those personalities, there, for example, Kardam Muni came, oh, he's praying to the Lord, Lord, I desired a wife. I'm praying you for a wife. How low I am. say, अरे देखो अभी इसमें mental desires है. One may think, अरे He did tapasya for 10,000 years. And he is praying to the Lord because Brahma told him to beget children. So you can see good or you can see an essence there. Eye of love versus eye of justice. For example, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, people will take complaint. They think, no, your children are very mischievous. थोड़े तो शैतान है. क्या इसको इतना seriously ले रहे हो? Like that, Diti will say, why? She's seeing eye of love. So she doesn't see any fault in his children. And on the other hand, is somebody whom you don't like. His small things also he will do, you will feel like, ठीक नहीं किया. That's how the envy works in this world. I remember I was going in a train and one child of the mother was coming in, no, पूरा मेरा book पूरा छीन रहा था, फाड़ रहा था. अरे नहीं करो तो मदर उल्टा मेरे को बोली कि छोटे बच्चे को क्यों डांट रहे हो. She couldn't see the fault of the day. So with his love, then I realized, next time we should tell parents only to tell them. Yeah. So, but on the other hand, if you don't like a devotee, whatever he does, you will not like it. Or you don't like a person. Even they do good also, still you will feel अरे कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, कुछ तो इनका मन में काला है तभी ऐसा किया है. Even the good, maybe हमसे कुछ चाहते हैं इसलिए आज फोन कर दिया है. Right? So when you have a negative perception about somebody, whatever he does, we think is negative. But when you when we love somebody, whatever he does, अरे नहीं नहीं अच्छा ही तो किया होगा. So, but we are supposed to love or hate people. Love, no? So now what we should do to give up this envy and fault finding? See, the basic underlying theme of fault finding is envy. Because the moment you find fault with others, you prove that I am better than him. See, उसमें fault है ना, तो मतलब वो बड़ा व्यक्ति नहीं है. मेरे में fault नहीं है, I am better. And that is why people will find more fault with the people whom they respect more also. Like everybody is paying obvious, like sannyasi re alpa chidra sarf log guy. Because everybody respect, so little fault also they will tell. I see this may be problem, this may be problem. And they will tell it. There. So more you accept respect, the more also people very scrutinizingly see also the mistakes in you. There. Or because we don't want to give respect to others, we want to find fault so that we avoid giving respect to people. And our mind will imagine, okay, we don't want to respect, so let us find fault. So it's a very subtle motivations which comes in fault finding. And same goes in family life. Same goes with non-devotees also. See, we are finding fault with non-devotees also. It's due to our problem only. The only fault with people is they are away from Krishna. And because we are away from Krishna, what else we expect from them? So don't find fault with even some non-devotee family members also. And if you can appreciate your non-devotee family members, they will become devotees. तो devotee think अरे devotee बनके अच्छा बन गया है, सब appreciate करता है, तो devotee बनना अच्छी बात है. लेकिन क्या होता है devotee बनने के बाद में हम क्या करते हैं? पहले रौब झाड़ते हैं घर पे. देखो तुम सुबह उठ के नहाते नहीं हो, पूजा भी नहीं करते हो, तुम ये भी नहीं करते हो, ये भी नहीं करती हो. देखो यही सीखते हो. Right? There. So people will not able to appreciate. But if people see you have become a devotee and become humble, and you respect others, value others, appreciate others, they think devotional service is very nice. They will also take it. Yeah. So it's very, very important to deal with the, and Prabhupada was very expert in dealing with them. So Giriraj Maharaj had joined. Giriraj Maharaj had joined the temple. And his father is a millionaire, billionaire. Father comes to Prabhupada. And father says to Prabhupada, please, there's a blank check, write whatever money, give my son back. Prabhupada said, take this check back also, take my son back, take your son also back. And Giriraj Maharaj saying, Prabhupada, keep me also, keep the check also. And then the mother was telling, my son is becoming very skinny. And then Prabhupada called Sandesh, feed Sandesh to mother, father, and to Giriraj Maharaj. Said, no, don't worry, he'll eat all this Sandesh. He will become very healthy. There. And then Giriraj father said, oh, your one thing very special about your spiritual master is he knows how to deal with people. There. And then parents gave blessings and went back for Giriraj Maharaj to join. This one dealing of Shri Prabhupada. So, how do we deal with new people? How do we deal with new devotees? This is that principle. That's how our maturity in the spiritual advancement depends. The amount of forgiveness, amount of tolerance, and we are able to appreciate others. So, material desire for gross and subtle envy, fault finding. For example, one devotee is going, one youth devotee is going who is not married, and he see a boy and girl going. Like, kya rascal hai, unmarried boy, girlfriend, they are going, what all they are doing. Now, why he is saying like this? Because he is missing something. So sometimes our criticism comes due to we are missing something. But on the other hand, Loknath Maharaj, one time he was in a New Year day, he went to MG Road in Pune. Night, 31st December night, the Kirtan devotees did, and young boy and girls were together drinking and things. He felt so bad he came back. He couldn't tolerate the degradation here there. So, so same thing you can feel compassion, or same thing you can criticize left, right, center, or you see with empathy there. That array, this fellow doesn't know. Let me pray Krishna, let him become a devotee. Both of them become a devotee. He's wasting his life in unnecessary patterns of this world. So when you don't have desire, you feel compassion on people's desire. Like Haridas Thakur felt compassion on prostitutes. Haridas Thakur did not felt anger on prostitute. कि she has come to make me fall down. He felt compassion. Of course, we shouldn't admit it. We should run away from such situations there. But the point is, because of elevation of Haridas Thakur, he saw with the eyes of compassion. So when you see people getting irritated, angry, you feel sometimes compassion, like, should we help them? इतना क्या परेशान हो गए करके. So everything you can see with the eyes of compassion when we ourselves experience in the higher taste with it. And as we see people with positivity, appreciation, that higher taste will come because the aparadhas will go away. Sakale samane korikati devanatha aparadhe guchi. Tabhi to gaye hari nama sukhi aparadhe guchi. My offenses will go away and I can chant the holy name with great happiness. So when there is a pride, there must be envy, pratishtha. Prabhu, what do you think? I'm the best devotee in the center, right? I do so many services. Yes, Hari. Ritik, a small boy. And he's saying, yes, Hari bol. So pratishtha, desire for puja labh, pratishtha. So anybody gets more appreciation than us, then you start finding fault with that person. बेटा बाहर सब लोग क्या करते हैं हमें पता है कौन है ये. The naked pincher story you heard, naked pincher. There was a judge and there was a one child who remained naked in the childhood and will come in front of all neighbors and everything. Then future he went to high school, he passed and he passed the barrister exam also and he became a high court judge. And then again he came back to his city. And they asked, what are you doing? I'm a high court judge. Hey, naked pincher. Yeah. तू कैसे जज हो सकता है? So we keep perception about people like this. So when we have come in bhakti, we would have seen people like naked pincho. They will do a lot of mistakes. And अरे ये आप बड़ी बड़ी बात बना रहे हैं, कल तो हमारे साथ ही आए थे, कल तो हमारे साथ ही ये सब कर रहे थे, अभी बड़ी बड़ी बात बना रहे हैं. So we have a naked pincho perception about people, right? Same with family members. They're coming together in bhakti, but they will think of each other not what their current status. हमें पता है तुम कौन हो, अभी तो बस साधु बन रहे हो. Same way two friends come to bhakti together. They know each other what happened. Or brothers, sisters. If brothers, sisters becoming devotees together, they know what both are there. So then that naked pinch of perception comes with people. Pride and appreciation curve. So how the pride happens, when we come a new devotee, we are very, very humble. Because we know everyone else knows better than me. So Prabhuji, Prabhuji, Prabhuji. So new devotee, see pride is blue and appreciation for others is orange. So a new devotee has high appreciation for others and very less pride. And that's why he feels great bliss also after coming. After he becomes little skilled in some services. So what happens? The blue goes very high and appreciation for others go very low. And even he becomes more renounced. So then pride goes more further up and appreciation goes very less. But then when Krishna humbles him, so then you understand, I'm nothing, my Lord. And you start appreciating. And after renunciation, after person become very dedicated, initiated, अभी तो मैं initiated devotee हूँ, I am also a facilitator, I am also a mentor, others are guiding. So all these things come. But then when Krishna puts his feet upon, to crush the pride of Indra, false ego, overcoming false ego, then he become a humble devotee. अरे मुझे पता लग गया प्रभु जी, मैं कुछ नहीं हूँ. When Maya, there. You may think if other people have fault and you point them down, how does it make you fall too? Call a spade a spade. What is wrong? Yes, can anybody say? अरे fault है तो बोलना चाहिए ना, क्या दिक्कत है, हम कुछ थोड़े ना आ रहे हैं. Why we should not utter others' faults? Nonsense. Yeah. No, no, we are talking. If people have fault, don't see faults. See good. तो सर अरे fault है तो देखना चाहिए ना और बोलना भी चाहिए. Okay. But see. Yes. But what is the problem in finding fault? Now you're saying how we should correct them. I'm asking a more basic question. What's the problem in finding the fault with people? Yeah. Okay, Dinesh, Shivanand Prabhu. Our heart becomes very hard. Yeah, very nice point there. There. Okay. हाँ, अरे वी फॉरगेट, अरे यहाँ पे हम भगवान की आरती करने आए हैं, न दूसरे क्या गलती कर रहे हैं उसको देखने नहीं आए. See, when you're finding fault with others, you're doing arti of your false ego. One lady would go every day through the temple and will say, there are so many people have so many problems. सब पूरे बुरे हैं, लोग जो भी मिलते हैं मुझे बहुत बुरे हैं. तो उसको बोला कि चल तू एक मटकी लेकर जा और मंदिर तक ये मटकी का पूरा भर दे मटकी को, और एक पानी की बूंद नहीं गिरनी चाहिए मटकी में. मटकी से पानी की एक बूंद भी नहीं गिरनी चाहिए. तो दैट डे शी वाज वेरी कॉन्शियस. And she reached the temple. And this time Pujari asked, "Did you find any fault?" नहीं, आज तो कुछ नहीं देखा. Because she was absorbed. We are finding faults because we are not absorbed in Krishna. See how you have so much time to find fault with others. Because we are not absorbed in Krishna. If you are absorbed in Krishna, you don't have time to find fault with others. Because I am distracted in my class, that's why बगल वाला क्या कर रहा है मुझे दिख रहा है. Because I am distracted in मंगल आरती, दूसरा क्या गड़बड़ कर रहा है मुझे दिख रहा है. I'm coming here to look for Krishna, not to the problems of people. Are you getting the point? Because I am distracted in my life and the faults are distracting me more of people. So that's we lose the purpose. And we think I am here to make everybody better here. It's my job to make. You're able to hear Mataji is there? I think they're not able to hear me. Janvi Mataji, are you able to hear me? I think you're not able to hear me there. So, so generally, we may think that we have come here to make everybody better. And we forget I have come here to make myself better. So when we finding fault with others, we forget I have come for my own improvement and others' improvement. Are you getting this point? We forget the purpose of coming. See, we are coming here to become more pure and more better or no? But in finding fault, we forget that purpose and we think I have come to make others better. And over a period of time, it happens when you become senior, you feel it is my responsibility to help others. And you become a self-appointed self-advisor. Self-appointed advisor. किसी ने बोला नहीं कि प्रभु आपकी जिम्मेदारी है इन लोगों के प्रति. You become self-appointed. कि पूरा जिम्मेदारी मेरा ही है, सेंटर कैसे चलना चाहिए, सेंटर में क्या क्या गड़बड़ हो रहा है करके दो. So we forget the very purpose. Of course, if devotees see that something is stopping the service and the mission, so you can always go and approach the concerned authorities. That प्रभु जी मुझे लग रहा है कि ये चीजें गड़बड़ हो रही हैं. If it is improved, we can do Prabhupada's mission more better. So there your intention is to serve and you're approaching a proper channel. But we don't take an approach of finding fault with others. So it's a very deep motivation inside of our heart which we should look. And when you start doing it, you'll see a good nature will come there. So we know that the samava is there, but we have to improve it now. You know what is piety, what is sin? A steady adherence of transcendentalists to their respective spiritual position means piety. And when people, and sin occurs when a transcendentalist neglects his prescribed duty. Means what? Somebody chanting one round every day. And he keep chanting one round every day. It is piety. But if he gives up chanting, it is sin. Generally in this world, we see sin and piety. ये किया तो पाप हो गया, ये किया तो पुण्य हो गया. But in a spiritual circle, Krishna is saying, Uddhava, how in absolute terms we explain anything as sin or piety? If you are chanting, if you're doing some spiritual practice and you increase or continue, it is piety. And you decrease the spiritual standard, it is sin. That's a duty say. You don't chant 16 rounds now, no problem. But whatever number of rounds you chant, chant consistently. Because that is piety for the person. So that means what is piety for somebody may be sin for somebody. Like when we come new in devotional service, eating more is a good mistake. As we spend some time in devotional service, eating less is a good mistake. You get my point? So when a new devotees come, you make them feed a lot of sweet rice, very nice prasadam, everything. It is piety. But after 20 years of spending, that may not be piety. So depending on the level of a transcendentalist, the piety and sin is described. So therefore, our finding fault with new people is of no use because that's what not there. We should see that at least they are coming from their previous level. Now, if a devotee commits some sinful activity only, something wrong, should we criticize? If a devotee do something wrong, should we criticize or not? Like, okay, problems are taken care on the channel. And you see some devotee is doing wrong. Should we go and spread this? Should we tell it, अरे ऐसा कैसा कर सकता है, कितना गंदा है ये, or not? Why? Why we should not criticize? Seven help the devotee. Okay. Hmm. We may not know the whole picture. Okay. No, even you know the whole picture and devotee actually committed sin or criticize him. हाँ, क्या तो तुम्हें प्रभु जी. हाँ. ती कौन्ते प्रति जाने नामे भक्त्या प्रणश्यति क्षिप्रम भवति धर्मात्मा शाश्वत शांति निगच्छति कौन्ते प्रति जाने नामे भक्त्या प्रणश्यति. So, if and for which a devotee this applied? Samyak Vyavasito Hisa. So, any devotee, even while performing devotional service, he accidentally commits some sin. Something wrong he did, something abominable he did, but he continues his devotional service. Krishna sees him what? A sadhu. And Krishna says, I rectify the fault in such a devotee. So, a devotee who is continuing his devotional service, we do not speak of his fault because it was a matter of incident, it has just gone. Are you getting my point? So, what happens when devotees are practicing devotional service? Sometimes some anarthas may come from the subconscious mind, and due to which they commit a blunder. But because they keep continuing their devotional service, they don't need devotional service, feel repentant on their accidental committed sin, then Krishna considers them to be a sadhu. So then who we are to think them to be a sadhu? So even if devotee does accidentally sin, is offensive to criticize them. And such news you will keep getting. So we should handle with care. 2497. Okay. So person who do not blaspheme the Vaishnavas, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you chant 16 rounds and do not criticize devotees, I will take home back to, I'll take you home back to God. Just chant Hare Krishna and not criticize devotees. The only thing obtained by blaspheming Vaishnavas is sin. After Mahaprabhu took away the sin of Jagai Madai, you know what did Mahaprabhu say? Whoever blasphemes the Vaishnava, the sins will go to them. The blasphemy of Vaishnava is sin. Now, why do we criticize others? Gaining a sense of superiority, getting back at someone who has hurt us. See, somebody has hurt us, then we also find somebody find one fault with us, we find 10 faults with them. There. Asserting our position of belief as the best or only way, avoiding scrutiny of our own shortcomings. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that sieve is finding a fault with a needle, that it has a hole. You understand sieve? Sieve has many holes, but it finds fault with a needle that you have a hole. So when we find fault with others, understand we also have so many faults with us. And Krishna, so we tolerate others' fault, Krishna will tolerate our fault. Appreciation a day keeps Maya away. We keep appreciating devotee. So there's one habit you should, if you want to grow in bhakti, one thing you should learn: appreciate devotees. Or make an appreciation diary, right? Okay. Or even family members also. If they do something good, something, you should appreciate that. And children, the best way of training children is when they're good, you appreciate the understand. Yahi karne ka hai, karke. Or when you appreciate right behavior before children. See, there is a punishment psychology and reward psychology. There's a punishment psychology and reward psychology. What is punishment psychology? Oh, you did not did it, you are bad. The moment you say this to a person, he then won't do good. वो bad ही मैं bad हूँ तो bad ही रहता हूँ. But you reward somebody who's doing good, then people who are not doing it, they feel inspired to come. Like you appreciate devotees who came for Mangalar, who came early in the morning. Then others feel, हमें भी आना चाहिए. Right? So today so many devotees came early morning, they're coming there. So like Priyanka Mataji, she came in the early morning, Nini Mataji, Ankit Prabhu and Mataji, Venkatesh Prabhu. So they came early morning in the center today. So when you hear somebody came early, what comes in our mind? We should also come. But when you say, "Arey, you are not doing this," then people feel, "Arey, piche pade rehte." So there's a reward psychology and there is a punishment psychology there. So we should deal with people in a reward psychology way, glorifying the good. So appreciating, so that way, if you appreciate the good behavior of your family members, then family will think, "Arey, अच्छा behave करते हैं तो appreciation मिलता है." Then they will behave nicely with you. Reinforces it there. Same way with children. Like if children do good and you appreciate, then they feel, "अरे ये करेंगे तो मम्मी खुश होंगी." So then children do that. So appreciating the devotees is very important. And do not hear negative about a Vaishnava. Rupa Goswami said he's a Vaishnava. I don't want to hear his criticism. Very important. Don't hear criticism about a devotee or even about the management. I don't want to hear the criticism of a devotee. And it works very powerfully at a very subtle level. So never hear criticism of a devotee, what to say of gurus or the advanced Vaishnavas there. Okay, any questions? Then take the questions. So it is hate the sin, not the sinner. It says hate the sin, not the sinner. So when a person has done something wrong, you understand he can improve. But what he has done is wrong. And when somebody has done wrong, you can go and explain them. See, now there are two cases where person himself knows he has done wrong and is repentant. So there is no point to tell it. But person knows person has done it, still he doesn't know. If you tell them at that moment, they'll become more upset. So find a right moment to tell them where they are ready to listen. So you should tell them in a way in which it helps them. Are you getting the point? In which it helps them, That way you should tell people. And when people have committed sin, they are in passion ignorance. And in that passion ignorance, they won't hear your good advice. So when they come in little satogun, that's the time you tell them, or personally one-to-one meeting, you know, I'm concerned about you, I have something to say, should I tell you? You know, check people's pulse, are they ready to listen or not? Just directly don't go and bang upon them कि तुमने ये गलत किया.
Prabhu, another question. For more expectation, more things. And I believe that expectation is difficult to buy the trust that you do, the forgiveness, that's where you know, expectation. So, like you said, how to have expectation.
Okay. See, trust and expectation. Trust builds on a previous experiences, on their previous past behavior, right? So if previously they have done nice seva, then naturally you expect, okay, ये सेवा मुझको इसको देना चाहिए, so he will do it nicely. So there's a trust. But in case they don't do, give a benefit of doubt. Give a benefit of doubt. And next time understand, they may also commit mistake. So you set your expectation based on the previous experiences with people. So people are happy and you are happy. Just because I am in this relationship, I expect this. That doesn't work out. So the expectation should be based on the experience with the people, no? Are you getting my point? Then you have a realistic expectation. But when we have expectation based on because I am this, I should be respected, I should be given this, but I'm not respected. So then problem happens, person becomes frustrated. So real life expectations are no problem. And with that also you understand finally God has a plan. Finally Lord has a plan. So you don't become frustrated. Yes, other than that. Yeah, Prabhuji wants to add. Maybe let Prabhuji, we can add the comments. Probably the question may get answered by the
Hare Krishna. So, I may like to mention, negotiation is the gap between expectation and reality. That is. So, we are going to maybe add one more point here, which is more practical. You very wonderfully explained the lot of aspects of all farming. But there is also a very minute difference between correction and criticism. And the difference actually, you also explained, is that comes from the authority, the situation, and the receiver. Like who is correcting and who is being corrected in the relationship with them. Right? It is the difference between them. So therefore, when good people are coming in, where Shraddha is very common. At that point in time, the teacher or the senior has to be very careful. How much Shraddha, how do we deal with that? And then when we measure that, we can get more strong correction from that. So it is a matter of training. How do we get trained and how do we see the right movement, the right person, it is the anyway, it should not be that many years, but correction should be one of the points. But worship would be here that sometimes I think that certain devotees are very, very lenient. Neither in the new state or in the old state, or the devotees, they never find any fault. Because they themselves want to keep themselves very safe. But there is another key point also that because somebody is in a senior position, it is also their intrinsic responsibility to make sure that Prabhupada instructions are also being followed properly. And therefore, they have to find the correct people, not from correct people. How to balance nature? Right? Because sometimes we get swayed away. Because a lot of things start happening wrong in front of us. Then we start swayed away and we start correcting a lot.
yeah.
And on the other hand, we become a too lenient. So there are two poles of pendulum. How to balance it?
So Prabhuji made a nice point which makes the presentation complete. That then should correction not be done? See, one thing we talk here about criticism. We didn't talk about correction. So three things we should ask. Am I correcting this person for the welfare of the person? Do I have an authority to correct? I have a right to correct. And third is the way I'm correcting him, is that correct? And when then three things met, that time we should correct. So is it beneficial? Means if I'm giving correction, is he ready to accept that correction? First thing. Second, am I really in position? I've been responsibility of managing the center, or I've been giving their care. Second thing is that. Third is what way I should tell. Don't speak very aloud their correct problems. Just go and discuss, Prabhu, I observe this. What do you feel? So then you hear from the other side. After hearing from the other side, many of the time you understand that was not a problem only. Because he didn't knew only. Then you tell Prabhuji, you may not know. This is the right thing. So then it doesn't become like a chastisement. It just becomes a small correction. This way you can do it. Yeah. So that's how it happens.
What is the origin of the application of the form? The origin of the desire from what is the origin for the Prabhupada carry sort of the desire of their life for and so what is the origin of deriving or how can we cultivate? What do you know? Can consciously try? Is that the only step to consciously try or appreciate level of how?
Yes. So appreciation in a day keeps Maya away. Make appreciation diary and make a habit to appreciate others. And not appreciate people's conditional nature. Appreciate things in relationship to Krishna. Are you getting my point? Appreciate things which people are using in relationship to Krishna. So we don't have to too much appreciate with them. Because if we appreciate karmis, you may devalue devotional service. For example, you want to apply those things in life what you appreciate. Now you appreciate, oh, my manager is earning so much money, I'm earning less. So you appreciating. Then you also want to earn more money and there is no time for spiritual life. You getting my point? So we are talking about appreciating those qualities which have sattva in their nature and which have Krishna consciousness in them. And you can appreciate even non-devotees for that because non-devotees also will have some sattva, some spiritual angle in their life. And you appreciate those qualities, those things. So generally we appreciate Vaishnava qualities in people. See, in the world, people glorify skills, people glorify the position people have, but Vaishnavas glorify the Vaishnava values. Vaishnava values like humility, tolerance, respectful nature, absorption. So those things we glorify, which are the Vaishnava qualities of people. And non-devotees also will have something, and we understand these qualities are not permanent in them. Because somebody who is not a devotee, they actually don't possess these qualities because whenever reversals will come, they will change their nature. But still understanding they have got this nature due to some sattva, due to some spiritual thing, we can appreciate that to them. Get my point? When family members are kind to you, so you can appreciate that they're kind, they're helping. So is there any problem if you appreciate them if they're kind to you, they're helping you, you appreciate what they are doing? They feel very happy and satisfied. Because people want to be, especially those people who are making sacrifice for us, they want to be acknowledged. Yes or no? So just like when we do for others, we want to be acknowledged, and people do for others something, they want to be acknowledged. So we are grateful for that, acknowledge that gratitude.
Like, suppose anyone, like say, yes, like a work, and you are in that sabha, that job is sent to me, right? Now you seek meaning, right? And say, he was a devotee. Then from the perspective of criticism and everything, as an observer, how should you take it? Because you see a lot of wrongdoing happening, and they are devotees of it.
Ah,
So how do you?
you should be like Vidura. You should not be like Bhishma and Drona. You should be like Vidura. Vidura was going center, left, right, appealing everybody, stop this wrong happening. See, if you tolerate some wrong happening, you become a part of that wrong. You get a papa. See, Bhishma and Drona why they were got killed? Because they tolerated. They had a power to stop that Hineka. They didn't stop it. And that's why they got all the karma for that.
But
Bhishma and
Vidura criticized it, right?
Yes.
But you are saying you
But
should not criticize.
see, criticize now, right? That's why we have to understand the dharmas and respect it. Your question, but right? The Prabhupada is saying now Draupadi Tiyaharn is happening. So they are doing wrong. Should it be criticized or not? What do you say? Yes. All of you heard the class. How many of you say it should be criticized? So what criticism we mentioned? Somebody committed a mistake. Somebody committed a mistake, not with intention, but accidental. So we don't have to criticize those mistakes of people there. But where people जानबूझ के पाप कर रहे हैं, they should be beaten up, not only criticized. If Vidura had a power, he should have taken a bath and beat Duryodhana there only. There. So we are not saying non-violence. Papa said nonsense, non-violence. Krishna did not told Arjuna, oh, see good in Duryodhana and party, whatever they have done for you, and you beg and things like. Krishna said, go and kill them for dharma. So the criticism, what we are talking about on a level of sabhava of people, level of sabhava. And what the other point I mentioned, if a devotee commits something abominable, you should not criticize him. His authorities will take action. It's not that authorities will not take action. Like suppose somebody stole Krishna's Lakshmi, then he has to be taken action or not? Or should he be forgiven? He should be taken action there, there. But other devotees should not criticize, अरे चोर है चोर है चोर है करके सबको नहीं बोलना चाहिए. Because that person will never show up in devotee circle. Are you getting my point? He did a thing. So action should be taken, but then not he should not be criticized by everybody or every devotee. There. So when people do wrong, the dharma has to be done, the action has to be taken. But people who are not the in charge of dharma shouldn't go on criticizing it. Do something about it. Again, I'll come the example of stool. Last time I gave example of a stool. You were there when I gave the example of stool last time. If suppose a stool is there on the road, what will you do with the stool? If a stool is lying on the road or on the gallery to your house, what will you do with that? Get it clean. But criticism is you take that stool and keep smelling everybody. You have put your hand dirty and made everybody dirty. But action means you clean it out. Whether you take a jhadu and clean it out. Action. So when something dirt is there, it has to be cleaned from the system. It should not make an issue there. Are you getting the point? So this is very important. Half knowledge is dangerous, you say, no? So your question is making the knowledge complete. Nobody should go with a wrong concept or a message with it. In there. So anybody did wrong, they should be punished and they should be rectified.
Just to add another follow-up on this one. in his starting, he was telling the story about the Brahman, where he was saying that when you are urinating in food, he was saying that this is just a state of mind. Right now, we see also the character of most of the people were doing all sorts of nonsense to them, and he was talking. So not this is part of our knowledge, but then in action, it is also different. So it is a state of mind. This is our knowledge, but then Narad Muni is also telling a snake that I told you to tolerate, but I did not tell you to not show your food. So I think there are two parts to it. One is how do we understand the situation, and then how do we act on it. There are two different.
It also depends on the level of advancement of the individual. Now, we cannot be like Avanti Brahmana. We cannot be. We cannot artificially imagine. That's why I didn't say that we should also behave like this. I said, take his realization, understand mind is the cause of the problem. And our problem is not that somebody is beating us. Our problem is किसी ने थोड़ा हमको बोल दिया जो चुप गया दिल में. And that should be forgotten, understanding the problem of the mind. Most of us, we deal with a problem, some devotee or some family member told us something, or colleagues told us something, which is very hurting to our heart or ego. Right or no? There. So that time we should learn from Avanti Brahmana. The cause of the problem is not his words, not him. It's my own state of mind, which is expecting so much respect for oneself. So that's what one gets a realization in that situation. Then he takes the right action. Otherwise, he go into cycle. उसने मुझको ऐसा बोला मैं इसके साथ ऐसा करूंगा. And person gets more vicious into it. There. But when it comes to a physical problem, then there's the concept of protection, protecting the body. Are you getting my point? A great devotee like Amrish Maharaj, they do not do protect their body. Krishna will protect. But if we are not at level, we have to make an effort to protect. Are you getting this point? Yeah. And not in the action and at our level of spiritual advancement. There. So I hope this making it clear. So I'll give you one example. One devotee did new driving. His superior told, Prabhu, my empowerment is there, just drive. And he broke the door. Drive means parking पे चढ़ाना था. And he did new driving. बोला my empowerment is there, चढ़ा दो. और उसने पूरा ठोक दी. So this is the huh? So, कल को बोले प्रभु यार empowered सर्जरी कर दो दूसरे की. So we have to be practical while applying. See, whenever we are applying devotional principles, we have to be practical. Don't forget practicality. We have to cultivate. When we become more empowered, we find more fault with others due to our conditioned nature. So we have to empower ourselves to find good in others. And this work in every walk of life. Even with your family members, you don't have to unnecessarily find fault. Deal nicely and kindness with people. See, unless you see good in people, how will you deal kindly with them? So it's a very overall, it's an overall package what we are discussing about there. That how a devotee develops Vaishnava qualities, humility, tolerance, forgiveness, is all based on this softness of heart, where you think others are better than me. That's a Vaishnava. That others are better than me. When we have that heart, it's a heart of a Vaishnava. That's why Uttamadhikari cannot preach. He feels everybody is better than me. So Uttamadhikari comes to the level of Madhyamadhikari for preaching. Because for preaching, you have to correct people. You have to show them, you are not devotee, become devotee. You have to feel, they need something. Then only you're able to preach or not preach.
very first Krishna is now very everyone goes. And then we see others, everyone will gather. And then invite us.
So you can direct. No, then you should.
You don't want to do this selfie.
No, you can ask a question. Prabhu, is eating allowed outside? Is outside food eating allowed in voice? Just ask a question to them.
I'm asking you place of the non-devotee.
As a non-devotees. Ah.
So we have to decide that there is someone gone to the how we do it.
So how to see this comes? How to deal with parents, friends, and relatives, right? There. So now different devotees will have different standards and they deal differently. And you have to deal with very maturely. And it should require one-to-one guidance than some principle. Because here devotees are of different standards. They may not be able to understand your example.
So maybe about one time you like this. But sometimes some people are like they go to everything order they create situation on it. Okay,
I think Raisham was telling we should have email training for our devotees, which talks about go for delegation and stewardship delegation, which addresses these issues. So probably our managers need training. Dinesh will conduct email lecture classes. Non-devotees, you can't help much. Just be a little far. Get the point. You can't much. Just deal whatever way you can. There. So I think we'll end here. It's 9:30. We'll have proper Guru Puja. But nice question answers came and thing. And like to thank Dinesh Prabhu and Venkatesh Prabhu for getting the new screen. They worked a very hard. But due to my, I don't know how to operate, so I was putting, what screen you have brought, get the screen there, but they have worked very hard. And I think this first class was to set up the how to know. I understood how to use the new screen.